Hey everybody, welcome back. So recently a company called SEALIGHT reached out to me and asked me if I'd like to test their LED headlights. And after putting a set of LED headlights in my wife's Cadillac, I said absolutely, but you need to send them to me for my 98 Jeep Grand Cherokee, and they did. So these are 9004/HB1 headlight bulbs, LED. Let's pop over to Amazon and let's take a look at their listing, and then we'll get them out of the box and put them in.
Okay, so here is the listing over at Amazon. You can see they're 11% off right now, $41 a pair. SEALIGHT 9004 HB1 LED headlights, 18,000 lumens, 80 watts, 6500K cool white LED bulbs, high and low beam, 7-year lifespan, 5 times upgrade. I think that means it's 5 times brighter than the standard halogen bulbs. Temperature control and adjustable light shape. Not sure what that last is, but we're going to find out. $41. Huge improvements in visibility, better driving experience, 60,000 hour lifespan, easy to install, fits 98% cars and CAN bus ready. Does not require a ballast, I think they say.
Okay, with that being done, let's get them out of the box and have a look at them. I've had a couple of boxes recently that don't have that little thumb cut out, and they were hard to open. I'm glad to see that. That makes it a lot easier. We have some small black zip ties. We have a little booklet. I don't know how they could really provide installation since it's going to be different on almost every vehicle. And I expect they're just going to show them with the lenses out of the car. On my Jeep, if I remember correctly, the driver's side is pretty easy, and the passenger side you have to pull the battery out, but it's not that big of a deal. Okay, and here's the bulbs themselves. Let's have a look at one. Oh, they got a wire on them. Here, let's get this whole thing out. Oh, we got gloves on the bottom. They don't want us touching them. I touch everything. So yeah, there's a little fan on the back to control the heat. There's a nice sealing ring about it. And we have, I'm guessing, high beam on one side, low on the other. What's that say? 9004 HB1. And then there is a support at sealight-led.com on the other side. So that's pretty interesting, and a little pair of gloves. So you know what? Let's put them back in the box. And as soon as it cools down enough that I can stand to be outside, we will put them in. Here's what the stock headlights look in the daytime. It is 9 a.m. in the morning. Low beam, high beam. Okay, so let's have a look at what the stock headlights look like. These are brand new headlight lenses, so they're crystal clear. Okay, stock headlights there. Low beams, high beams. Let's go for a short drive. Low beam, high beam. Got a street here that's got a dead end in front of us. Lots of street lights on this street, so it's kind of hard to get a good idea of it coming down here. Here we go. There's a dead end down there. I don't know if you could see it. High beam again. Low beams. High beam. Low beam. Okay, so let's swap these bulbs. The first one is going to be really easy. It is right here. So I'm just going to unplug the wiring like that. And then, if you can see it, I'm just going to twist the ring. And then I can wiggle the bulb out. And there's the old halogen bulb. The other one's not going to be so simple. It's over here behind the battery. Okay, I have the battery out. I'm gonna unplug the wire. I'm gonna turn the locking ring and we're gonna pull the bulb out. And there's the old halogen bulb. Okay, one thing to note on this style of bulb, you have to take this part off of the LED lamp and install it into the old bulb retainer first. And you'd have to do it from that side, and then the bulb goes back in like that. All right? Because I noticed when I was trying to put it in that it would not lock in place. So immediately I knew something wasn't happy. So we're going to do this. There we go. And now that should turn and lock like that. So now I should go in and lock in place, I think. One thing the instructions did say is to plug them in and make sure they work before you go ahead and mount everything in place. I had to temporarily put the battery back in, hook the cables back up, but both lights are plugged in. Let's see if they work. Both light up. Let's try going from high to low. All right. Both seem like they switched from high to low. So they should go in this position. And in mine, there is a little screw head holding them together. That should face toward the center of the vehicle. And then your high and low will be right. If you put, and the wire is facing down. If you put them in another way, you'll have low beams when you want high beams and vice versa. I want to note that even with the ring completely tight, turned tight, you can still rotate the bulb. I just have to wonder how well that's going to stay in position, vibrating, hitting bumps and all that, and have your adjustment go over. I guess only time will tell. Okay, next morning about the same time with the new headlights. Let's check them out in the daylight and see what the new ones look like. Low beam, high beam, back to low, and high again. Okay, here we are. Next night, just about the same time, 9:15 at night. Let's see what these look like. That's a lot wider. That's low beam. That's high beam, low beam, and high beam again. Looks like I got them pointed really, really well. Okay, so here's this dead-end street with the wall down there. You can see the sign that points left or right at either end. High beam, low beam, high beam, and low beam. It's almost like the highs. No, they don't. They point pretty well, actually. Let's take a look at this wall. So I'm about right here. I'm about, I'd say, 25 meters from that wall. And these are the low beams. Those are the high beams. Pretty impressive, really. So what's my final opinion on the SEALIGHT Xenower LED headlight bulbs? These are the, as I said, the 9004 HB1 versions that fit in my Jeep Grand Cherokee. Well, it's been a couple of days since I put them in, and they're still in there, so that should tell you something. If they didn't work right or I didn't like them, I'd have taken them right back out and put the halogen bulbs back in. One thing I want to touch on, a couple things I want to touch on. One is the fact that they don't lock in place like the old halogen bulbs. You know, the old halogen bulbs, there's only one way they fit, like this, and then there's a tab and they lock in place. The new SEALIGHT bulbs do not. I don't know, is that what they're calling adjustable beam shape? It's the only adjustment I see you might have in it. I would actually prefer that they locked in place. I mean, a lot of you may want that adjustability, but I would rather they, just knowing that they would not move, I think that would be preferable to me. I would like to say the instructions could be a little bit clearer, but that's absurd because every make and model of car is going to be different, and there's no way they can put a booklet in that covers every make and model of car. So the instructions in it are sufficient to get you to put them in correctly, I think, with a little bit of intelligence on your part. This is not the first set of LED bulbs I have put in that Jeep. I have put these set in it, and you know, these set don't have the fan on the back. And these seemed like pretty good bulbs. They were very inexpensive, and when I first put them in, I thought, wow, they're bright. They look really good. But after about 10 minutes or so of running, they'd start to act funky. And sometimes I couldn't turn the high beams on. Sometimes I couldn't turn the high beams off. Sometimes it would switch back and forth automatically. I blamed the switch. I even went out and bought another switch and put a new switch in it, and they still did it. So I went back to the halogen bulbs, and the problems went away, and I stuck these in a drawer, meaning to mess with them some more, and completely forgot about it. And my guess now is that without the fan on the back, they overheat. I mean, especially here in Arizona where it's 98 degrees out at midnight. So I'm guessing those fans really do need to be on the back. You're not getting enough heat dissipation without them. And of course, having the fans on the back means you have to have the wire coming off the back instead of the plug-in, which also means you have to have that kind of funky method of fitting it in with the ring. So I really like the SEALIGHT LED headlight bulbs. They are really white and really bright. The beam shape looks really good, and they're going to stay in there for now. If I have any problems with them in the future, I will certainly come back and let y'all know. There'll be a link to them below. It'll be an affiliate link, of course. Thank you guys for using my affiliate links, and thanks to SEALIGHT for sending these out, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye for now.